Garrett is a student who prides himself on his ambition in all aspects of his high school career, from writing for The Century, our school newspaper, to academic excellence, to achieving in school sports. His sarcastic and witty humor always brings a smile to those around him, even if he is distracting them while they're doing work. Garrett will be attending the University of California in Los Angeles this fall to pursue his dream of becoming a biomedical engineer.
Thank you, Rivka, and thank you everyone for being here today. I'm going to try to keep this short because I know how much we all want to get out of here, and I know how easily some of my classmates can zone out. I want to congratulate each and every one of you who sits in front of me today. Whether you be a student, parent, grandparent, relative, teacher, administrator, friend, or just somebody random who snuck in somehow, be proud of how diligently we've worked and recognize the sweat, tears, and hopefully not blood that has gone into our high school careers. I'd like to thank everyone who supported us in all of our endeavors, especially our parents and guardians, because I know all my teachers would get way too annoyed to raise me. I'd like to thank my classmates for being so awesome, and for being both my greatest competition and my greatest friends in one. But most of all, I'd like to thank myself for really pulling it out and writing this speech while afflicted with the most deadly disease known to man, senioritis. While some of us might not realize it now, in this room sits the innovators of the future, the newest generation with an opportunity to change the world. But before we focus on the future, we must first reflect on these past 4 long years that have developed us into the class you see today. Now, I'm going to be honest. I really don't remember that much about school in freshman year, other than that I almost failed world history. As for extracurriculars, however, there are memories aplenty. This was the year we went to our first football games, tried out for our first school sports, auditioned for our first theater productions, and played our first orchestra concerts. Yes, freshman year was definitely a year of firsts, but it was also a year of lasts. It was the last time we felt like we did not belong at Yorktown. It was the last time we were treated like middle schoolers, and it was the last time we limited ourselves to just our old friends. Sophomore year consisted of a Snapchat obsession for most of us. I still remember how important that little fire emoji was to everyone, and now it seems silly that we love taking random selfies and sending them to each other for days, months, and years on end. Speaking of Snapchat, graduation streaks. You'll see that later. Even more fun, however, was the opportunity that we were given to get our learner's permits. Only now, as a clearly very experienced motorist, do I recognize how bad of a driver I was and how many people I narrowly avoided hitting. As well as with learning a new skill like driving, sophomore year was a time when many of us really challenged ourselves with our first AP class, while attempting to keep up with that 365-day streak. In keeping with this driving tangent, there's a saying that goes something like, high school is like driving a car, except the car's on fire, and everything's on fire, and you're actually in hell. That was junior year. And yet, while we were literally and figuratively drowning in our schoolwork, we still found ways to have fun and come into our own. This was the year we made all the freshmen hate us for being older than them. This was the year we started thinking about our futures for the first time. Many of us visiting colleges and some even committing to them for sports. It was also the year when we all thought we were adults. But now that most of us are legally adults, we need to reminisce over our past year. Senior year, or #senior season, if you will. Yet again, another stressful year, but this time in a good way. The pressure of figuring out our futures at the age of 18 was definitely one of the more difficult things we've done, no matter what path we're choosing to walk. Many of us will be attending college next year, and some will be joining the military or going straight into the workforce. But no matter what our futures hold, what we will remember is how our class pulled together to celebrate each other's successes and to support those who did not achieve what they'd hoped. Every year, at least for myself, I had felt some sort of divide between friend groups and cliques. And in our senior year, those boundaries seemed to disappear as we continue to recognize how amazing our peers truly are. And now we finally made it to this day, our graduation, our first step into the wide world ahead of us, each of us going our own separate ways. While we recognize the immense amount of hard work that has brought us to this point, we still have the rest of our lives to live, and live to the fullest. And so I encourage you to follow your passions, develop your ambitions, and be the best damn class of 2019 this world has ever seen. Congratulations, we made it.